Alright guys, we're here with a Huracan Performante, and I want to tell you guys how to do the fuel pumps. This is going to apply to the Performante, the Evo, and just your regular 2 and 4-wheel drive Huracans. Not the convertibles. For the convertibles, the top does have to come out. And that's like a full day's worth of work, taking it out and putting it back in. So just keep that in mind. This is for the coupes only. There may be slight variations in this, especially the older ones with the radio bezel or the CD player bezel is kind of different and stupid and will break. And then it's glued to the back piece, so you're going to have to, it's just a pain. But other than that, most of them are pretty easy. And so here's what we're going to show you real quick. Here's the fuel pump cover. And also there's fuel level cinders in here. I believe there's 2 on each side. It is a saddle tank. There's one over there. This is your main pump though, and your return and main pump is here. You do have a transfer pump on that side that helps assist fuel get over to this basket. To get it out, the first thing you're going to want to do is take off this panel. It's held on by these rubber bushings that pop down like this. So what I typically do is pull the bottom ones up on each side, and then just try to pull the bottom out enough to where it can clear this, the little bezel, and then push it up. That will expose this area, but you cannot access it until you take this panel off. And for that, there's one piece that goes right here along the top, and as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pop tabs. When I say pop tabs, I mean things like that right there. They just pop, and they also slide in and out of that little bracket. So if it gets stuck up in there, don't worry about it. Just use a screwdriver, pull it out without bending it, and slide it back in. You'll pull those down as much as you can, moving your hand along the back side to pop it down. Once you get that out, you've got this piece, and this piece will have a child safety belt. That is a 17mm bolt. And on top of that, you'll have a cover that looks like this, and that has just 2 little hooks on the side, so you can just like reach in and pull one side up and like out and back, and then the whole thing will pop off. You just take the 17 off, and then as you can see, it has pop tabs all over the place for that one as well. If you want to see where they are, I'll show you right here. You got one in the top center. This hooks into that to align it. And then you have a pop tab next to it, and then a pop tab there. And then these little tabs are plastic tabs that go into these little biters right there. And then you have a couple alignment pins and pop tabs on the bottom. So you're going to want to, again, try to pull that out. And it's hard to break this one. But then after that, you've got this back panel, which has 1, 2, 3, 4 10mm bolts. Be gentle on those. Don't use an impact. They are bolts that are glued by this terminal with flat back and a flat carbon. They don't even sand it. And so these will break if you use an impact on them. Also, when you're tightening them back down, you want to get them snug and then do like a quarter of a turn. You really don't need a lot. Don't use Loctite or anything. If it does break off, don't sweat it. I use sandpaper, scuff up the carbon really good. Use like a good 80 grit or something. And then you can clean this off if you want, or you could just scuff it. And then I use a Worth Fix-All. Just look it up online. It's a double tube gun that shoots the epoxy and the hardener together, and that stuff is like bulletproof. Once you take those off, you've got pop tabs like pop, 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 pop. I think it's like 5 on or 6 on that one. You pull it out. After you do that, you've got this bottom piece. You don't have to disconnect all that wiring. It's really easy. You just take off, boom, 1 where there was a screw, 2, 3 in the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back, the top. Then you just slide the whole thing forward and up like this, trying to slide it forward to clear these. And then once it's clear, you can tilt it more and pull it back, and then lift it up, and you have plenty of room to reach these 6 Torx bolts. Once you get those 6 Torx bolts out, you'll have like your typical, screw cap. It's like not the cap that screws, but the ring around it, screw ring. There you go. And it'll like this. This will point kind of toward the center front and toward the front center console. if you just line up those hoses and then look at the ring, you'll see little king marks that the ring bites onto, and this fits in between two of them. That's kind of hard to mess up. Once you pull that out, you'll have, of course, this gasket, which, by the way, the secret to getting this back in is to put it on and make sure that this is all the way around on the bottom, this is all the way around the top, and then ease the pump down into it. If you try to like put it on while the pump, it's just tricky, okay? So that's that. Then you'll take the lines loose from the bottom. You got, you know, supply, return, the plug for the pump and the cinders. Then you also have this little ground thing right there, which will just like right here. And you can just pull firmly on that and it'll come off. Then you got your basket. Basket's easy. It's held on by two little twist things that slide in there and lock it down. You just literally reach down and flip them. And that's how you pull this basket up. And in the basket, you'll have the pump with this and like this in here, like dampening the pump. And so I just reach in there with a pick and hook onto it and pull it around up like that right out. Once you have it out, then this will come off. And you can slide the whole pump down and pull the top one down off of it, and then you can pull your pump right out and swap it out. Keep in mind that the pump will fail partially. It can not. It doesn't just fail and then stop running altogether. It can fail and then you can lose horsepower at the top end of your rev range. It usually happens after like 8 years or less or more, depending on how you drive it and all that. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, we put a supercharger on this one. I put one on for VF, or it's their kit. Anyway, it's a great kit.